Hello everyone, I welcome you to my channel RP Techno Hub. In today's session, we're going to learn about lookup datatable activity in UiPath. So before we learn this, let us just explore our understanding on VLOOKUP in Excel. So here I got the student details, right? So here I got the student details when the name, city, and the marks of each and every particular student is present. So if I want to find out any particular student marks, right? So what I'll just do in here is that, so I'll just specify the student name. Say, let's say I want to find out Jagrut's marks, right? So Jagrut, so you can just copy paste the same Jagrut, and here I want to fetch his marks. So what I'll do, I'll just use of VLOOKUP Excel VBA activity, right? So Excel VBA function. So here, what is VLOOKUP? So it is a virtual lookup. So it will look up for a value in a virtual order. So VLOOKUP, and if I have just opened the brackets, so here you can see the hint for the VLOOKUP, right? So these are the arguments that are required to be passed in to this particular VLOOKUP function. So what is the first argument? Lookup value. So what value that I want to look up? So I have specified that in here. So just specify that cell address, comma. So the cell address has been taken. And then what is the table array? In which particular table that you want to look up for this value? Okay, I want to look up for that value in this particular data table. I have just specified the range that is starting from A1 to C6, comma. And what is the third one? Column index number. Which value that I want to pick up? Which value that I want to pick out from this data table for this particular student, right? So I want to pick out his marks. So which is present in third column, right? So just specify that column index. So uh, in Excel, so the column index will always be starting from 1, right? So that is 3. So the third column. And what is the fourth argument? So true or false. That means true means approximate match. So it will not do the exact match. So it will try to match it approximately. And what is the second argument? False. So this is the one that we need to select. And do we need to give any more arguments? No. Right? So just let me just close the brackets. So I want to look up for this value in this data table, and I want to pick out his marks. So I want to look up for Jagrut's marks inside this data table. That is the second argument. And I want to pick out his marks. So that is third. And what kind of match that you want to do for this particular student name? Exact match, right? So that is false. So we're good there. Let me just give an enter. So you see, I got Jagrut's marks. So similarly, if I do change this value, right? So to, let's say, Rohit or Nehal, so Nehal marks will be picked up. So this is not matching. That's why it is the formula is returning me not applicable, because empty is not present in this data table, right? So yeah, let me just paste this Nehal value in here. I think it is not copied. Just copy this Nehal and give enter. You see, I got 79, and that way you can find out any student's marks using VLOOKUP. So if you understand this, understanding the lookup data table activity is very easy, right? So let me just open this workflow. So here I have, I'm asking the user to enter the student name, and that's getting stored inside S name. And then I'm reading the data table, that is lookup DT, right? And what is the range that I'm reading? A1 to C6, A1 to C6, and I'm storing that inside the students DT data table. We're good there. And now what do we need to do? So for the reference, I have just copied this data table into a notepad so that I can cross check if my bot is returning the correct values or not, right? And now I can close this. So I can close that. And what is the activity that is required to be used? Lookup data table, right? So let us just drag and drop that lookup data table. And here, if you see the input argument, the first input argument is data table. So I got that inside the students DT. So I can use that now in here, students DT, specify that. And then what is the column index? The column index, the lookup column, right? So this is under lookup column. That means I want to look up for this value. Which value? So that is also not mentioned. Just let me just specify that. So that would be entered by the user, and that's being grabbed inside this s name variable. So let me just use that. Yes, name. And where is that present? So that is present in the first column, right? So in the first column of the Excel. So I will just specify it as 0. In the UiPath data table, the first column would always be represented with the index as 0. You can even specify uh, the column name if you want. Okay, that is fine. And what is the output that you want? So the output will be retrieved in here. And before that, what column that I want to pick out? So if you see here, that is a third column, right? So in Excel, and it's gonna be your second index, right? So the target column is second index. My target column is present in the second index of this particular data table called students DT. We're good there. And it will return me a value, that is cell value, right? So I want to grab it inside S marks. I'm creating a new variable called S marks, and it will return me a number, right? So I can change it to double. So for the safer side, I'm changing it to double. So double can hold integers also, and it can hold double as well, right? So we're good there. So do we need to give any more mandatory arguments in here? So we are good there. So let me just use, if you want, you can even get the row index in which particular row this particular record is present. So if you want to use it as a reference, right? So let me just do row index, just create that row index variable. So that is an integer. So if you want to use that, that can also be used. We're good there. And let me just use box, that is message box. If you just type in box, right, the message box will be appear. Just drag and drop that. And what I want to, the student, otherwise I'll just say, hey, uh, I'm just, hey, and then I'll specify you have scored you have scored. Just do control plus, otherwise you can just click this. I'm just doing control plus, you have scored, where I'm retrieving inside S marks, right? S marks. So that is double requires to be converted into string. Yeah, we're good there. So now let me just give a quick run. So using F5, that is debug run. So here it is asking me for the student name. So what student name I'll give? Let's say I want to give Rohit, right? Just remove that space. Yeah, Rohit. Just do click OK. Yeah. Hey Rohit, you got 89 marks. And that way you can check out all the student marks. This time I will use Nehal, and I want to find out in which particular row it is present, right? So it is present in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So let me just tweak this. Just do your marks, your record is present in row index. So row index will always be starting from 0, right? Let me just put 1. So, and that requires to be converted into string. So click OK. Yeah, this time what I'm giving, I'm just gonna give Nehal, copy it. Yeah, let me just give a run. F5. And so here I got Nehal, and I'm removing the space. Click OK. Hey Nehal, you scored 79 and your record is present in fifth row. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So index always starts from 0. I just added 1. So it is present in fifth row. It is giving me the correct row number, right? So that's how we can use the date lookup data table activity in UiPath. I hope the session is informative. If you think so, please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also do not forget to click the bell icon to get notified on my new videos. Thank you.